Welcome. Just want to make sure that my video is currently live, and I want to wish everyone and anyone who's watching my video now or even later, thank you for watching. And I just want to later on know in the comments where you're currently watching my video from. So this video is very brief, but it's to inspire and motivate whoever's watching this video, you who are watching my video currently. So just let me know if you hear my voice twice, which I will make sure to mute on this end. I just wanted to make sure that whoever's watching my video can actually hear me. I know that you can see me. So yeah, welcome. So I'm gonna start off with the fact that happy Sunday to everyone. And I hope that you're having a wonderful Sunday this far, because of course I am. And I wanna mention about content creation, right? There's a lot of us out there who wanna create content, but we're just so fearful and so scared. And I just wanna let you know, just stop being fearful, stop being scared. Look who's telling you, me. Because I am a mom of 3 children, and my oldest is 17, followed by my 11-year-old and my 4-year-old. And just to give you a little story, right, as to why now I feel comfortable with creating content, something that in the past I was not okay with. And I would say is this, right? My oldest child, she's always been very outspoken. She always says how she genuinely feel, either I like it or not. And I always used to try to tell her daughter, you're so beautiful. Why don't you go and start creating content? Or I can help you start your business. It could be about anything that you currently want to do. And I will make sure to supply it financially. And one day she just randomly just told me Ma, stop putting your dreams on me. If that's something that you want to do because you speak about it a lot, just go ahead and do it. And I was just huh? In my head, being the woman that I am, I'm oh no, I know she's not talking to me like that. But it actually sparked something within me. And I was you know what? I told her I actually thank her. And I thank her for telling me those hard words, because if not, I will always depend on her to break us out of what I've been trying to break us out of, right? So I'm currently in good standing, right? I do have a good job. I do have my own apartment with my 3 children. I am forever grateful for God, for everything that He has done for me throughout the years. I am a mom that, growing up, I grew up with one parent who suffers from mental health, and I was raised by my dad at the age of 12, and I don't know, I'm so nervous. Hey everyone, and thank you for joining. So just to show you, anyone who creates content gets nervous too. Don't ever feel that those who are creating content don't feel nervous when they're creating this type of content for people like you who are watching me. And so yeah, I just want to stay in the topic. So I just wanted to let you know that just like me and anyone else who create content, we all get nervous because of course we're given a little piece of us, which usually we'll keep to ourselves. But I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be able to inspire. I want to motivate other women to stop allowing their circumstances from not reaching their full potential. So when I decided to create this live, I wanted to speak of content, and then I'm also going to speak a little bit about myself. I work in a hospital, and I know that lately I've been getting a lot of questions about how I joined the hospital, so I'm going to give a little bit of feedback behind that. In case there's anyone currently on this live who's interested, I'll make sure to share a little information about that, and then you can reach out to me later on in email. I am so willing to help anyone who wants to better themselves with helping you with your resume, And when I say that, I can say that you can erase your personal information, your address, your email, your home address. I don't need none of that. You can just supply like the information of where you work and what you did. And I would try to help you align your resume so that you can apply for a position that will, in due time, come to pass, because I am that type of person. This is how I speak. I speak life into anything that comes out of my mouth, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am today. So if you're someone who are watching my video, just know that, just stay in the video. It won't be long. So I just want to stay into the topic that I already had in mind. So when it comes to creating content, right? A lot of people are nervous, including me. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm someone who don't like to talk too much. I'm someone who don't like to share anything. I like to keep my life to myself. But then I had an encounter with God in 2021. I almost passed away delivering my last child during an emergency C-section. And ever since that day, I have not been the same. I've been working on myself so hard to become a better person, to help others, because that's what God wants me to do. So for those who are watching my video now or even later, and you're interested in creating content, content is not that hard. I just want to say this, because I don't think a lot of you know that we all have cell phones. Like even right now, I am live currently on my cell phone. All you pretty much have to do is like grab your shirt or grab anything and just wipe your phone very, very well so that your lens are clean. You don't have to upgrade and buy like a latest device. I do know that when it comes to like my phone currently, I have a 14 Pro Max. I have not upgraded to like the 17, and I know the 17 is great because I have noticed with a few of my friends and family members who have that phone, like when you're moving, the phone pretty much move with you. That's great, but our hands work too. So just remember to use your hands and grab your phone and just record yourself. You can record yourself speaking about anything. And if you're so fearful of anyone who's watching you, I was fearful at one point myself. I'm just like, who's watching my video? What are they gonna say when they're watching my video? Are people going to judge me? Are people, are my family and friends going to say anything about me? But I reached a point that I don't care what anyone has to say about me. What I care is about the fact that I'm even going out my way to want to help others to break free, just like me. I'm trying to, I'm very grateful for the job that I have, but I also want freedom. I want to be able to spend time with my children. I want to be able to pick my youngest one, who's 4 years old, from school and, pick her up every day, pay for extracurriculum activities that she can join after school. And of course, my job does supply something like that, but that's not going to I just don't want to limit myself, if you get what I'm trying to say. So yes, and I also wanted to mention, besides that, I'm going to get into you can use any type of device. I know some people ask about how can you edit your thumbnails and stuff like that. I use Canva. So I don't know if you ever heard of Canva, but go to canva.com. It is free. You don't have to pay anyone. Online, everyone wants you to pay, come out of pocket, pay $17, $19. But YouTube is something that you can watch and learn so much from without having to pay anyone a dime. So I call YouTube University. So I think you should consider it as that. If you do need to find out of any pages or anyone's YouTube who I watch who has helped me to learn the things that I have learned so far, reach out to me or write in the comments and I'll make sure to respond, because I will be on even after this live. And so now I'm gonna get into the topic about hospitals. So I'll speak about myself. I can give my story to motivate you who are watching. So I dropped out of school at an early age. And when I dropped out of school, initially I didn't care too much about going back to school, but then I always knew that I wanted to work in the medical field and I wanted to be a nurse. So I made that conscious decision to start working on getting my GED. And during that time frame, I was working at a physical therapy office without a GED. So I'm grateful for that, right? And then from there, what I wanted to say was, I didn't allow. Oh, thank you. I didn't allow. I didn't allow that to stop me, right? Because as I mentioned, I always wanted to be a nurse in a way. So then I knew that I had to go back to school, or if not, I knew that I had to start taking the GED exam in order to get it, right? So I got my GED in 2014. And once I got my GED, I just said, you know what? I'm not going to allow anything to stop me. Let me just go back to school. Let me just either go back to school or try to get myself into a hospital. So I ended up getting laid off from the physical therapy job, which I was just making at that time $15 an hour. So I left that job, and then I decided to look for a temporary agency. A lot of people don't feel comfortable with working with temporary agencies because, of course, it's like, oh, they're gonna pay you less than you can actually work for that company. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: when you're someone who do not have the experience in the background, that temporary agency helps you out a lot. So I'm not telling you to work for a temp agency for a long period of time. I worked for a temp agency for 10 months. And that 10 months worth of experience, I was working for a company called ExecuSearch. That's the temp agency, which I'm not too sure if it exists still or it doesn't. But due to that, I started working in Advantage Care Physician, which is all across New York City, but with the temp agency. Within 5 months of me working in there, they ended up offering me a position. So they asked me, like, do you want to leave the temp agency and we'll hire you? But during that timing, I already knew that I already had sort of experience in the medical field, and I always wanted to work in a hospital. So I said, let me start applying for hospital jobs because now I got my GED and I have, a few months of experience working in the medical industry through a temp agency. So I applied for Northwell, and I took an extreme pay cut joining Northwell, just so you know. And once I took that pay cut, it was worth it because I swear that opened the opportunity to a lot of things, right? So from there, I went from Northwell to, I ended up applying, I was still applying for other positions. So then New York Presbyterian reached out and offered me a higher position, but of course, working at night. And as a mom at that time with 2 children, working at night was not going to be feasible. But this is just to show you how God works. So I ended up getting 2 calls for 2 positions, which one was Northwell and the other one ended up being the hospital that I work for now. And I don't even want to speak about my current job because that's not something that I want to talk about. But I am in the medical field and I have been working in the hospital that I am currently for the past 10 years. So this video, again, is to motivate you and to inspire you. If you're someone who is looking for a job, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, and you have been applying for jobs and you don't find anything, or you don't find anything that you like, or no one's calling you back, one advice that I'm going to give you, if you don't feel comfortable with sharing your resume, because that's fine. Again, if you want to share your resume, just make sure to remove your personal information. I don't need that. I just need what you have, and I can pretty much help you fix the rest. So I'll say finagle it. And then from there, you can use the resume that I send back to you for you to apply for other jobs. What I will tell you is that there are keywords. So pay attention. When you're applying for a position, some of the keywords that are in the position, also use that on your resume. That is how human resources can pull your resume because you're pretty much aligned with that position. A lot of us are just applying for position and using the same resume with the same subject, the same, you're just posting the position because you know that you have the experience or the degree for it, if you do. But if you do not, hospitals are not always looking for people who have degrees. I joined the hospital and I didn't have a degree. Well, I didn't have a degree at the time. All I had was just my GED, and that was recent. So what I will tell you, if you want to join the hospital and if you're okay with doing temp agency, great. I will tell you it worked for me, and I will give that advice to anyone else. But if you're looking for a hospital job, you can always start from the bottom. And from the bottom, I mean, for me, I live here in New York City. So if you're working in the hospital, the bottom is you're getting paid like $19 an hour, $20 an hour. I don't think you consider that the bottom. That's reasonable for living here in New York. So it's not as much as we would like, but yes, $19, $20 an hour is great. So I would tell you to apply for like kitchen jobs. I would tell you to apply for housekeeping. I would tell you to apply for anything that also aligns with the direction that you're going. But I'm going to give you just a brief story. When I started applying for jobs, I didn't apply. I have administrative experience. I have been a secretary for years. So I wasn't really applying for those jobs. I was applying for the bottom jobs. So I was applying for kitchen job, housekeeping. I was applying for anything that will get me into the hospital so that later on I can apply for the position that I really want and, get into that position. If you're watching me right now and you live in New York City, and I don't know if you ever heard of 1199, it is a union, and a lot of the New York City hospitals have that union. I would advise you to go to their website, 1199 SEIU, and apply. And all you need to do is type 25 words per minute, but the pay is always worth it. To be honest, you're applying for it. It doesn't really matter where you start. So if you live in the Bronx and they offer you a position in Brooklyn, just take it. Get your foot wet. Start getting, get experience in the position, and you will see how much. You will see how much that will help you in the long run. Don't stay comfortable in a position. I will always advise that to anyone who's watching, because a lot of us tend to get comfortable because the pay is great, but you don't know how much you can be making knowing the things that you know. And I'm pure testimony of that. So that's why I'm speaking on it. But 1199 SEIU is a great union here in New York City that a lot of hospitals use. You can apply through their website. I believe you may have to go to, I haven't been to their website recent, but if you need that information, just put it in the comments and I'll make sure to respond back and let you know exactly the website or step by step on how you can go about it. And then another thing that I wanted to mention is, I think that's pretty much it, because I don't want this video to last so long. Do anyone who's currently on have any questions or anything that you want me to answer? Where are you currently watching me from? I'm just curious, because little old Nancy here is from New York City. So I just want to get to know you, where you're from. Don't feel shy. Any questions that you have, feel free to put them in the comments. I don't judge here. My life is not perfect. But, with God's grace over my life, so far things have been great. And I know that it will only continue to get better, because I'm trying to help not just myself, but I'm trying to help others too. So feel free to share me where you're from. Nice to meet you ladies who are currently watching me. Shout outs to you for giving me a few minutes of your time. Just know that I appreciate you. And just make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I know that I'm posting the video today, Sunday, February 15, but there will be more lives. Hopefully next Sunday I'll come on live again, or if not, I'll post a video. Just to post depending on the questions that you may ask in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, please make sure to write replay in the comments so that I know who's watching this later. But anyways, I'll let you beautiful people go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And remember to keep your mind set on your goals for this year. Don't limit yourself. Time is running out, and besides time is running out, life is too short. Don't you want to live a better life? Don't you want to do the things that you love to do? Please don't limit yourself. And especially if you're now part of my family, you're subscribed to my channel, Just make sure that this is not your last time joining me. And if you create your own channel, let me know in the comments. I will follow you too. We can all help each other. We don't have to gatekeep anything from one another. So just remember that if you need any information, thank you for joining me, Diana. I appreciate you. But just know that if you have any questions, any comments, feel free to write them in the comments. I will respond. I also have my business email that is attached. Again, this is not business related, but I tried not to mix social media with my personal life. But if you have any questions or you need help with your resume, feel free to email me. You will get a response back. You can ignore that. But the minute I see your response, I'll make sure to respond to you as promptly as I can. Thank you, Diana, for checking up on me today. How are you? And I hope that you're having a lovely and marvelous Sunday. But I'll let you beautiful people go. Enjoy the rest of your day, and may God bless you and protect you. Take care.